Here's how to get the most out of your human design. And I get that it can be an overwhelming subject. Trust me, I get it. I've been studying this thing for years. And I have more questions now than I ever have, especially more than when I got started. So I get it. But if you want to actually hack your body graph and start using human design, watch this video. So human design uses the exact moment of your birth to calculate a body graph. Everyone has one of these. And based off of this, you're going to be given a unique strategy and a unique authority. The strategy is going to help you use your aura, which is the electromagnetic field that your physical body generates, and your inner authority is going to help you make decisions that are good for you so that you don't end up a slave to the external authority, aka government, mom and dad, friends, boss, girlfriend, okay, anything outside of yourself. Now, there are 5 main aura types, with 2 of them, generators and manifesting generators, being very, very similar. This is where the strategy comes in. And for generators, manifesting generators, projectors, and reflectors, you are designed to wait. You're waiting for the opportunity to collaborate, co-create with someone where it actually makes sense. And not like logically makes sense, but like energetically makes sense. If you're a generator or manifesting generator, what you want to do is wait to respond with your sacral, your gut, the uh-huhs and sounds. Just follow those. As a projector, what you want to do is wait for an invitation. You want to make sure that somebody acknowledges your skills and is going to actually put you in a position where you can guide. Okay, if you have someone just like, for instance, venting all over you, that's not an invitation to give them counsel or guide them. That's just somebody else venting on you. And if they didn't invite you to like receive their venting energy, full permission to say, hey, I don't want you to vent all over me. I don't. And if you're a reflector, your strategy is to wait 28 days, which sounds insane. But as a reflector, this is something that I do, and it has made my decision-making process so much better. As a reflector, waiting 28 days is our strategy. It's called waiting a lunar cycle. The reason we are supposed to wait a lunar cycle is because our aura is always changing. For reflectors, all of these centers are undefined, meaning they're picking up energy from the outside world. That's other people's emotions, other people's sexual creative energy, other people's sense of love and direction, other people's way of getting attention, other people's way of thinking, what other people are thinking about. And so waiting 28 days gives us an opportunity not to make uninformed decisions. Because again, our aura is changing so much. And one of the worst things that we can do as reflectors is make decisions just because somebody else wants us to make a decision. Now, if you're a manifester, you are the only type that is designed to initiate and to inform. You're here to start shit. If you follow these strategies, guarantee you don't have to know anything else about your chart, but if you follow these strategies, you're going to be experiencing your signature more than if you were not following your strategy. This is because when you follow your strategy, essentially you're harmonizing with yourself, with your body. It would be the difference between like thinking that you're supposed to walk on your hands everywhere and finally just saying, you know what, I'm just going to walk on my feet like I was freaking born to do. As a generator and manifesting generator, if you wait to respond with your sacral, you will feel more satisfaction and less frustration. As a projector, if you wait for an invitation and you wait for recognition, you will experience more success and less bitterness. Reflectors who give themselves 28 days to make their decisions, they experience more surprises and less disappointment. And for the manifestor that follows their strategy of initiating and informing, you get to experience more peace and less anger. All right, guys, so that's strategy. The second one is inner authority. As I mentioned before, there's a lot going on in the external world, and our mind is great at picking up on that. But there are parts of ourselves inside our physical bodies that if we tune into them, we actually get better insight on what decisions are best for us. Oftentimes, this conflicts with the external reality, and it's this situation where you're like, oh, I really want to do this, but the norm is to do that. So as a way of not being persecuted by everybody else, I'm just going to do that and basically deny myself the thing that I actually want. Suck ass way to live. But guys, you probably have been conditioned to do that and you're not even aware of it. So here are the 7 authorities in very, very short sequence. You have one of these authorities. And if you need to, go to ReikiMarco.com, generate a body graph, and figure out which authority you have. The first authority is going to be emotional authority. If you have this center defined, you have emotional authority. The emotional authority hijacks your entire system. When you're in an emotional wave, the strategy is to not make a decision, but tend to the emotion, okay? Actually allow yourself to feel the emotion rather than suppressing it or blaming somebody else. Move through whatever it is you have to feel. Then you will experience a sense of clarity, at which point your normal strategy based off of your aura type will work again. There is no truth within the emotional wave. You can genuinely love somebody and during the emotional wave be like, I want to kill this person. But if you suppress that emotion, ultimately that I want to kill this person never gets out of your body and you carry it around everywhere and it affects your relationship. So work with your emotions, my friends. The next authority is going to be sacral authority. Sacral authority is exclusively for generators and manifesting generators, and it's the same as your strategy. Just follow those feelings that come from the gut. You're either aroused and have energy, or you're deflated and you don't have energy. The better you listen to that, the more life will feel like you're the main character and not some extra. Next authority is going to be splenic. Splenic authority can belong to manifestors and projectors. Spleen is all about health, wellness, and vitality. You're going to get these whispers of intuition, or your body is going to send signals to you. For instance, if you're at a party and your head starts hurting, that might be a signal that, hey, my inner authority is no longer matching up with the external authority here. Maybe someone shitty walked in the door and now you're like, yeah, I'm not about it. Pay attention to that. If you get ringing in the right ear, if you get these little whispers of intuition, that's your internal authority. It's attempting to guide you. And again, your internal authority might conflict with the external authority, which does not mean you have to change the external authority. It means you have to change your position with the external authority or your relationship with the external authority so that your inner authority is being honored. Next, we have the ego authority. This also can belong to projectors or manifestors. It's all about achievement. It's all about materials. It's all about pushing yourself and exerting your will. Consider what's important to you on a material level in terms of achievements. What goals are important to you? What status is important to you? This is the one type that is very, very important to flex on the world because this is how you experience yourself. The next authority is going to be G, or self-projected authority. This one can only belong to a projector. Now, the self-projected authority is all about being able to guide yourself. One of the best strategies that you can use to tap into self-projected authority is to use videos or voice memos or some way of reflecting on yourself. Just record a video or record a voice memo of yourself talking about the thing that you're having trouble making a decision with. Listen back to it and then guide yourself just like you would guide anybody else. The next authority is going to be mental authority. This is also a projector-only authority. Now, the ajna is an external awareness center, meaning it's using all of your senses to create an image of the external world and external authority in your mind. If you have this authority, you are one of the few people who can genuinely say, I did it because the environment was fucked up. Now, you can only say that for so long until you realize if this environment is not for me, I need to move. For people with the mental authority or environmental authority, it is so important for you to really pay attention to how the environment impacts you. Just as well, the people in that environment are either going to be nourishing you or draining you. And while we're here, I might as well say this. If your authority, whether it's splenic, emotional, whatever, okay, if your authority is like, we don't want to be here anymore, just leave. Just get the fuck out. Again, this internal authority is to help you make decisions that are good for you. And most of us are trained to make decisions that look good on the outside, but may not actually be good for us on the inside. And the last authority is the lunar authority. This is a reflector-only authority. And as I mentioned before, with the strategy for reflectors, wait 28 days before making big decisions. Mental projectors and reflectors are very similar in this way that the environment impacts them so much. So it's very, very important if you're a projector, mental authority, or a reflector that you are in the right environment. And if you're not, that should be your only goal. It will take time to find the right environment because it takes time to discover whether or not an environment over time is healthy for you or not healthy for you. And that's it, guys. Like, you can learn so much more stuff about your human design, but if you just practice these two things, I'm going to practice experimenting with my strategy, and I'm going to practice listening to my internal authority. If you do that for even a month, your freaking perception of everything will change. Now, if you don't know what your human design is, just visit my website or literally any other website online that generates body graphs and generate a body graph. You can find out your strategy and authority for free. And for the people that want more, and there is so much more, guys, I have $20 reports that are custom generated for you based off your body graph that will tell you all about your human design. I also do one-on-ones and stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know in the comments what you want to know about your human design.